My name is Sagar, you're watching CarWale, and right next to me here is the Land Rover Defender. It is one of the 6 cars that we have had for this year's CarWale Off-Road Day, which turned out to be extremely fun. And you can check out our full video by clicking on the link in the description below. Coming back to the Defender, I jumped on the opportunity to take responsibility for it and experience it mainly for 2 things. Firstly, I was keen to find out whether it's possible to take on all the obstacles and go through the day in absolute comfort. And secondly, well, it's a Defender. I didn't want to deprive myself of what is basically an automotive icon. Speaking of which, the original Land Rover Defender made its name in the world of off-roading in the 80s and the 90s as a plucky little go-anywhere vehicle. What you see here is an icon reimagined for the 21st century. It's a sincere descendant of the OG Defender with permanent 4-wheel drive, a central differential, air suspension with adjustable ride height, and Land Rover's terrain response system. The Defender looks like it's built only for adventures. It's got enormous tires, the most amount of ground clearance here and by a big margin, and a sophisticated traction management system. But on day 1, as I looked at my colleagues in the equally impressive Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon and the invincible Toyota Hilux, I began to have my doubts. Will the Defender rise up to the occasion and survive all the excursions? Well, let's find out. Of course, the Defender made it back without any issue after 3 days of pretty intense off-roading and fast driving over dirt roads. But it's the ease with which it finished all the tests, it's something that few cars can deliver. The Defender won our hill descent test by a gap as big as the one between its wheels and the body when you lift it. So the slowest car to roll down the hill is the winner, and the Defender took 12 seconds longer than the next best car, the G-Wagon. In the 0 to 40 meter acceleration test, it was one of the fastest cars amongst this bunch despite lacking a torquey diesel engine. I think it did well because the traction management on the Defender is really good. So it's got a low traction launch mode which allows you to pull away quickly, and once you get going, the 4-wheel drive system is constantly working to find traction over loose terrain. The steering wheel on the Defender is unusually large, and if I'm honest, I was pretty intimidated with its size initially, but to my surprise, it was agile, the front end would grip every time, and overall, it was quite fun to drive fast in our slalom test. It was just as quick as the G-Wagon, which had a clear torque advantage. Our Defender here is powered by a turbocharged petrol engine, and like all high-performance engines, it needs a good engine oil to work at its optimum best, especially in hot and challenging conditions like we have during the off-road day. One such good engine oil comes in the form of Gulf Formula SUV, which claims to reduce frictional losses and regulate engine temperature in less than ideal conditions. The Defender did well in our Beaker Test too, and I'm glad it did because let me tell you honestly, it is my least favorite test every time we do this, and you will see why precisely now.
Okay, let's see what that means.
Are we supposed to go this fast?
Well, that's how it is. A little bumpy, but yeah.
Okay, I don't have faith anymore.
Believe in the Defender.
Oh my god.
Now I've been kind here.
This is you being kind.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Oh my god. What the
Alright, that was hilarious. Okay.
This is
Most
good
of it.
enough.
Yeah.
This is good enough.
It's more than 50%.
Yeah.
So, cheers to the Defender. Well done. Alright, thanks.
Thankfully, the Defender soaked up the bumpy, uneven terrain just fine so that I didn't have to soak my pants during the Beaker test. At the end of the day, the Defender rose to the occasion. It is absolutely bang on as a lifestyle SUV that you can flaunt anywhere you go. Honestly, it gets everyone's attention, but it's over off-road terrain where it really shines. It completed all the 5 tests without a flinch, and even though it wasn't the quickest in the timed run, it was effortless and it had my back throughout this year's CarWale Off-Road Day. The only thing that I'm not a fan of in the Defender is its traction control system, which is simply too conservative if you have any sort of steering lock applied over loose terrain. It will cut most of the engine's power when you go full throttle in a corner. So that's something that I would like to see getting better in the next version of the Defender that I will hopefully get to drive in a future edition of the CarWale Off-Road Day.